Welcome to the Holiday Inn West for the 9th annual Chevy End Zone Banquet, and this is the 2008 All-Zone team. I'm WPDE Sports Director Rich CHRAMPANIS. Great to honor another outstanding season of high school football here in the PD in the Grand Strand. Over the next hour, we'll meet all 50 of our All-Zoners, plus our scholar athletes, and the presentation of the 9th Zoneman Trophy. What name will be added to the list that includes great names like Lawrence Timmons of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Savell Newton from South Carolina, and many, many others? We'll find out coming up later on. But for now, let's get things started by meeting the 2008 All-Zone offense.
Our 4 Zoneman finalists are Quandon Christian of Lakeview, West Florence's Malachi Goodman, and the Myrtle Beach Seahawk pair of Everett Golson and JAMERE Valentine. We'll have more on them later in the show. Now it's time to meet the 2008 All-Zone offense, starting at quarterback. Marlboro County's Elliot Alford broke Savell Newton's school record for career touchdown passes. And remember, this young man has 1 year to go with the Bulldogs. Alford also threw for more than 2,000 yards this season, leading the Bulldogs on their postseason run. Dillon's Travis Murphy can hurt you with his arm or his feet. The dual threat vaulted the Wildcats into the 2A state championship with 2 TD passes and a TD run in overtime to upset the Timberland Wolves. Murphy threw for over 1,800 yards in his senior season. Socastee quarterback Zach Elliman is a sleight-of-hand magician, fooling both defenders and cameramen on Friday nights, running the Braves' ground attack out of a potent wishbone. He scored 7 times, averaging nearly 9 yards a carry, and topped 1,000 yards on the ground. Conway senior Ryan Hardwick finished his year by throwing for just under 1,900 yards and 17 touchdowns. He led the Tigers into the 4A state quarterfinals. Conway generated nearly 27 points a contest this season with Hardwick behind center. North Myrtle Beach High senior Daniel Smith was one of only 3 area quarterbacks to throw for more than 2,000 yards. Smith engineered the Chiefs to an average of nearly 27 points a game. He threw a total of 21 touchdown passes. Lake City's Sean Carson ran for more yards during the regular season than any other back in the area. He had over 1,600 yards. The speedy sophomore made 19 trips to the end zone, averaging nearly 9 yards a carry. Carson was tied for 7th in this year's Zoneman voting. Lamar's Jonathan Dargan was the area's 4th leading rusher with 1,598 yards. Dargan made 20 visits to the end zone and averaged over 6 yards every time he touched the ball for J.R. Boyd's Silver Foxes. Montrell Evans of Cheraw is an outstanding blocker who can also carry the rock. Evans ran for over 1,200 yards and 18 touchdowns. The 2-time state champ doubled as one of the area's top linebackers for Coach Johnny White's Braves. Timminsville's Antonio Bubba McAllister is another 2-way star. He earned his way into the all-zone backfield, rushing for nearly 2,000 yards in his senior season. Bubba also made himself a fixture in the end zone, getting there 24 times to lead the area in that department. Antonio Mitchum is the first Hemingway player ever to be selected to the Shrine Bowl. The Bus ran for more than 1,500 yards and was a bone-crushing linebacker for Coach Ken Cribb's Tigers. Conway senior Seth Moreland was tough to bring down on Friday nights. Moreland ran for over 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns, helping the Tigers to signature wins over Somerville, Marlboro County, and Sumter. Moreland finished 6th in the voting for the Zoneman. Hartsville junior Trey Scott averaged more than 6 yards a carry for the Red Foxes. He's 170 pounds of lightning in a bottle. Scott ran for more than 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. Cheraw's Travis Small finished tied for 7th in the Zoneman race. Small finished a spectacular career at Cheraw, rushing for over 7,000 yards. His 88 career touchdowns are tied for 2nd in South Carolina high school history. More than 1,400 of his rushing yards came in his senior season to go along with 22 touchdowns. Marlboro County's Tyreek Townsend led the area in rushing with over 2,000 yards to set the school's single-season mark. He also broke the Bulldogs' single-game rushing record with a 325-yard performance against South Aiken in the playoffs. Townsend, who finished 5th in the Zoneman balloting, has been selected to play in the North-South All-Star game. Marlboro County's Jaquan Brantley was under the radar for most of the 2008 season, but got everyone's attention with his amazing 4-touchdown performance in the 3A state semifinals against Myrtle Beach. Brantley played his way onto the all-zone team with his clutch effort. Wilson senior Caleb Davis had a solid season. He caught 29 passes with 7 trips to the zone. Davis is a big play receiver and a major reason why the Tigers won the Class 3A state championship in 2007. St. James wide receiver Dwayne Dunham was the Sharks' go-to man through the air. Dunham caught 27 passes, 5 of them for touchdowns. He averaged more than 20 yards a touch. Marion sophomore Justin Gause has been clocked with a blazing 4.3 time in the 40. As a wideout, he averaged more than 23 yards a catch with a pair of TD grabs. He also played tailback, where he averaged more than 6 yards a carry. Conway's Jason Livingston is an excellent route runner with great instincts and concentration. Livingston was among the area leaders with 70 catches for 971 yards and 9 touchdowns. Hannah Pamplico's Jamal Simon is a lanky receiver with great hands and an excellent runner in space. Simon had 22 catches this season, 5 for touchdowns. He led the Raiders into the second round of the state playoffs. Shrine Bowl receiver Kinsman Thomas from Marlboro County has several Division I offers. The big playmaker topped the 900-yard mark in receiving yards. The 6'2" receiver is a great leaper with soft hands and blazing speed. On the offensive line, 6'5", 270-pound John Coleman from West Florence is a physical lineman with solid fundamentals. This honor student is committed to play at Duke next season. Coleman will also play in the North-South All-Star game. Conway's Tim Fowler is a 6'3", 270-pound senior. Head coach Chuck Jordan says Fowler anchors the best offensive line he's had in 25 years of coaching. Fowler is a solid student, and he'll play in the Shrine Bowl. 6'3", 270-pound Erskine Johnson has been a mainstay on the Tigers' offensive line. He's played tight end, tackle, and started at guard in his senior season. Johnson's a member of the Honor Society. He'll cap off his high school career this weekend, playing in the North-South All-Star game. Myrtle Beach sophomore center George Candress has had only one bad snap in more than 20 games as a starter. He's a terrific pass blocker and a major key to the Seahawks' offensive success. Coach Scott Early calls Candress the Seahawks' most valuable player. Lamar's Jaquavius McLean was a solid performer for the Silver Foxes on both sides of the line. This 270-pounder has excellent technique as a run blocker. He also made nearly 80 tackles on defense. McLean will represent Lamar in the North-South All-Star game. The biggest member of this year's All-Zone team, 6'2", 370-pound Georgetown lineman Gary Sessions. He's affectionately called Godzilla, or simply Big G, by his teammates. Sessions has quick feet for his size and pile drives opposing linemen. When he's not playing football, Sessions is a volunteer fireman. Lake City's Donquil McElveen was voted Class 3A Lower State Lineman of the Year on the SC Football Coaches Palmetto Champions All-Star team. The 6'5" McElveen was a big reason why the Panthers beat Myrtle Beach and Manning during the regular season to finish with an 8-2 record.
That's the 2008 All-Zone offense, and standing next to me, running back from Conway High School, Seth Moreland. And Seth, another 11-win year at Conway, making the playoffs once again. You guys never missed the playoffs.
It's an expectation. We wish we could have got farther, but we'll take what we can get.
You had well over 1,000 yards rushing this year, 11 touchdowns on the ground, 1 touchdown receiving. What I remember is pound for pound, you may be one of the toughest players in the area. With your size, does that make it a little more difficult?
No, not really, because people like to underestimate you. It makes your job easier when they don't bring everything they got, so it helped me out.
Seth, who's looking at you collegiately?
Wofford, Presbyterian, Newberry, smaller schools, D1AA.
Last thing, what will you take away from your Conway career?
There's too many just to name one thing. It was a great year. That's all I can say.
This was indeed a great year. Seth Moreland, the Conway Tigers. Rich, let's throw it back to you.
Thanks a lot, Mark. It's time for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll go on the other side of the ball and meet the 2008 All-Zone defense. That's when we continue here at the Holiday Inn West right after this. Welcome back to the 2008 Chevy End Zone Banquet here at the Holiday Inn West in Myrtle Beach. A little bit later in the show, we'll meet the Zone Scholars as well as the finalists for the Zoneman Trophy. But for now, time to play some defense. Let's take a look at the 2008 All-Zone defense.
We meet the 2008 All-Zone defense starting on the defensive line. 6'6", 300-pound senior Kwame Geathers is a big-time college prospect. He's like a wall of granite on the defensive line. Geathers made more than 120 tackles in his senior season, including 5 sacks. He'll play in the Offense-Defense All-American Bowl. Defensive end Adrian McCollum puts the nasty in Dillon's Nasty Cats defense. At 6'3", 240 pounds, he has a high running motor. He made more than 80 tackles for the Wildcats in his senior year. Cheraw sophomore Sammy Merriman has totaled more than 100 tackles in each of his first 2 seasons. Merriman had 3 sacks this year and has plenty of upside. He's got 2 years left at Cheraw. West Florence defensive end Sidney Sarmiento will play in the North-South All-Star game, and it's no wonder. The 6'5", 260-pound defensive end has great speed for a big man, and he's a sure-handed tackler. Sarmiento had 5.5 sacks this season for Trey Woodbury's Knights. Myrtle Beach senior Matt Smith finished as the area sack leader. Smith is a strong, compact player who at 245 pounds gets great push on the line despite being double-teamed most of the time. He made more than 100 tackles this season, and he'll represent the Seahawks at the North-South All-Star game. Lakeview's Paul Thompson is the Wild Gators anchor on both the offensive and defensive lines. The 260-pound Thompson topped the 70-tackle mark in his senior season, making 7 sacks. Now to linebacker, where East Clarendon senior Jamal Bethune made 78 tackles this season. He was the leader on a Wolverines defense that helped pull off one of the shockers of the regular season, beating Lamar and holding the Silver Foxes to just 8 points. Bethune has committed to play at Duke. Marlboro County's Tariq Edwards is one of many talented stars on the Bulldogs' Black D defense. He uses his 6'4", 215-pound frame to harass quarterbacks and long arms to pull down runners. The Virginia Tech commitment made over 100 tackles with 2 interceptions this year. Conway's Michael Frazier made over 100 tackles for the Tigers this season. He swarms to the football and is known to visitors at the backyard as a headhunter. Frazier is a big reason why Conway had an 11-win season in 2008. He'll play in the Shrine Bowl. Cheraw's Kenyatta Gary is an unsung hero for the Braves. He made 4 sacks this season with 1 pick and 2 fumble recoveries. Gary was region champion in the long jump. He combines power with athleticism to make big plays on defense. Georgetown's Kennard Gatson-Gilliard made 6 sacks from his linebacking position this year with 98 tackles. He doubles as a tight end for the Bulldogs. The 2007 Mr. Hoop Zone winner is playing in the North-South game as a football all-star. Hemingway's C.J. Julius was the Tigers' top tackler this season with more than 150 stops. His best game was during the regular season when he made 21 tackles in an upset over Carver's Bay. Avery Murray of West Florence is committed to play at Maryland next fall. He made more than 100 tackles for the Knights defense. He's been chosen to play in the Shrine Bowl later this month. LaTwan Thompson is a 4-year starter at Dillon. He's a fierce tackler at 215 pounds. He's also versatile. He played running back for Coach Jackie Hayes throughout his career. Thompson had more than 100 tackles this season and over 500 career stops for the Nasty Cats. He'll play in the North-South All-Star game. Timminsville's Frederick Wilhite is a hard-nosed player. This 240-pound linebacker made 137 tackles this season with 3 sacks and 3 interceptions. Wilhite is also a workhorse in the Whirlwinds offensive backfield, rushing for nearly 1,300 yards. Hartsville senior Damian Dixon made just 2 interceptions this season, and that's because opposing quarterbacks did not throw his way very often. Dixon is a shutdown corner who will play in the North-South All-Star game. Kevin Scooter Dixon plays on both sides of the ball for Dillon. We put him with our defensive backs, where he made 5 picks for the Nasty Cats defense and also played wide out, making a number of big catches. Clayton Geathers from Carver's Bay could be all-zone on offense or defense. Geathers has a nose for the football with 4 interceptions and a defensive TD. As a running back, he topped the 1,500-yard mark. Lake City's Sheldon Robinson made 4 picks this season for the Panthers. He's a sure-handed tackler with a nose for the football, leading a stingy Lake City defense that allowed only 11 points a game. DEMAZIO Skelton of Myrtle Beach is the total package. This Shrine Bowler made over 100 tackles for Scott Early Seahawks in his senior year, and as a junior, Skelton had 5 picks, including 2 for touchdowns. He's also a phenomenal wide receiver. Antron Smith was Mullen's Mr. Everything this season, playing both ways. One of the area leaders in INTs, he had 7 picks playing in the Mullen secondary. Senior Jermaine Vereen from North Myrtle Beach is a versatile two-way player for the Chiefs. Vereen is solid in coverage, and on offense, he scored 12 touchdowns and led North Myrtle Beach in rushing. Our all-zone kicker is Myrtle Beach's Jordan Butler, who had an amazing year, kicking game-winning field goals as time expired against Conway and Hartsville on back-to-back weeks. Butler also booted a 45-yard field goal in the playoffs. It's the longest three-pointer in the PD or the Grand Strand this season.
Joining me now is the head coach of the Myrtle Beach Seahawks, Scott Early, and he can't get that smile off of his face still. You still can't believe it. 3A state champions, and that's the first state championship for Myrtle Beach High in 24 years.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous experience, and you know, doing the North-South game this week, I really hadn't had time to enjoy it yet. My kids and coaches have, and hopefully next week I can do a little bit of that.
A 14-win season, a very pass-happy offense, but a lot of people don't realize how good this defense was for Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that helped us. I mean, we went through the year quietly, defending people. We struggled early stopping the run and got better at it and was able to beat a Crestwood team on the road. That's a very good team. And flying under the radar, I think, really motivated our kids to play better on defense.
Yeah, I was at that Crestwood game. I froze my fingers off of that one, but you guys stopped them, and one of the top running teams in the entire state. What's the future look like for Myrtle Beach High football?
Well, we lose 3 starters on offense and 3 on defense, and you know, we got some that we're losing that's going to be hard to replace, but we also have a lot coming back and a lot of excitement. And you know, those kids were back in the weight room on Monday getting ready to try to do this again.
According to my math, that means 8 back on offense and 8 back on defense. Another state title?
If I don't do anything to mess it up, it's possible.
You're that happy? Let's do our bump. Come on,
we're doing it
let's
here?
go right now.
All right,
let's go. Ready? Back to you, Rich.
The booty bump has become a tradition here at the Zone Banquet. Coach Early and Hags did it last year when Bruce Taylor won the Zoneman, and you never know, there may be another booty bump later in the show. Time for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll meet our Zone Scholar athletes. That's when our 2008 Chevy End Zone Banquet continues here at the Holiday Inn West right after this.
Welcome back to the 9th Annual Chevy End Zone Banquet. Nearly 4,000 votes were cast on CarolinaLive.com for the 2008 Chevy End Zone Plays of the Year. So here they are, voted on by you, the fans, the top plays from 2008, captured by our cameras.
Thanks again to everyone for logging on to CarolinaLive.com and voting for the great plays captured by all our great folks behind the scenes in this 2008 high school football season. Time now to shift gears from football to academics. It's certainly an important part of the school process, and we want to recognize 3 scholar athletes for this year.
The Palmetto Pigskin Chevy End Zone Touchdown Club recognized outstanding high school performers every month from the PD and Grand Strand and helped expand WPDE's scholarship fund. This year, 3 high school seniors have been rewarded with $1,000 scholarships. Our Zone Scholar Athlete of the Year is AYRES RENFROW from Socastee High School. The wide receiver and DB had a knack for being in the right place and making big plays for the Socastee Braves throughout his high school career. His father, Tim Renfro, is the head coach at Socastee, but it was his peers in the coaching community that recommended AYRES for the $1,000 scholarship.
Oh, it's awesome. It's my first scholarship. It's pretty exciting. I was surprised when they said my name. I hope to do something good with it. Buy a couple books, you never know.
I probably don't give him the publicity he should get in a lot of things, but it'll pay off for him long term, and he's done a good job for us, and I'm proud of it.
The Ray of Hope Scholarship was formed by our good friends at Coca-Cola. This year's recipient is Carolina Forest offensive lineman Drew Herring. Injuries limited Herring in his senior year, but it gave him the inspiration to pursue a career in physical therapy.
It was the worst thing I could imagine happening on my senior year is getting injured. And as soon as I just wanted to get a chance to help someone through what I've been through and let them know it's going to be okay. Because honestly, when they told me that I might not play for another game the whole year, it was like 100 pounds dropped on my back, and I felt like nothing good was going to happen after that. I really want a chance to help other athletes through the troubles that I've been through.
Sonic has been a huge supporter of high school football, and not just the Friday Night Warriors on the gridiron. The Sonic Spirit Squad Scholarship is a $1,000 grant to an area cheerleader, and this year's recipient is St. James's KORI Miller.
It was actually my birthday. When I found out that I got the scholarship, I was shopping. I was in Columbia. I was celebrating, and I had gone to a concert the night before. I had no idea, and I got a phone call from my coach, and I was shopping, and I thought I was going to have to leave the store because I thought I was going to scream. But it was really awesome. I was like, did they know it was my birthday? But it was an awesome birthday present.
Besides cheering on Friday nights, KORI is a gifted singer. It's not every day you run into a young lady who has a passion for every kind of music, even opera.
Voi che sapete che cosa amar, giorni viventi siano nel cor, giorni viventi siano nel cor.
Oh, we have a great group of Zone Scholar athletes. We'll start ladies first with KORI Miller, and my goodness, that was amazing. I might actually go to an opera now after I heard that.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that's made this possible for me. I'm really blessed, and I really, really appreciate it. It's been a great time. Thank you so much. And
we want to thank Sonic for the Spirit Squad Scholarship. We now go to AYRES RENFROW from Socastee.
I just want to thank Sonic again, giving me this opportunity, and I hope it'll go to a good cause.
Okay, we'll find out where AYRES is going to school here in the coming months. And Drew Herring from Carolina Forest always like to give the publicity to the offensive linemen.
I just want to thank the Ray family and Coca-Cola, my coaches, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to get in the scholarship. It helps out a lot.
You guys could be good NASCAR drivers. Good job thanking the sponsors. And we couldn't do it without the sponsors, Sonic, HTC, and, of course, the Carolina Chevy dealers. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will meet the finalists for the 2008 Zoneman Trophy. That's when we return.
Welcome back to the 9th Annual Chevy End Zone Banquet. Last week in Clemson, 2 local teams captured state crowns, and it deserves one more look, so we'll take you back to last week when Dillon and Myrtle Beach captured state crowns. Dillon got to Clemson by scoring 2 upset wins on the road in the postseason. They were looking for a 3rd upset against the favored Eagles out of Pageland. First quarter, Travis Murphy goes to the air, and check out the great catch by ANTWAN BLUE. It's a 3rd down conversion all the way to the 35, but the drive would stall. It was a scoreless game after 1. Moving to the second quarter now. Dillon pinned deep in their own territory from their own 6. It's Murphy to Blue again. ANTWAN BLUE's got it, and there he goes. A 94-yard touchdown. Dillon jumps out to a 7-0 lead. And the Nasty Cats defense certainly set the tone. This is LaTwan Thompson leading a gang of tacklers with a big loss there. Then late in the first half, Pageland tries the halfback option, but Anthony Smith is there for the INT. Dillon takes a 7-0 lead at the half. Central opens up the third quarter with a 6-minute drive. 4th and 18. This is Lee Covington. Beautiful catch, 25-yard touchdown. And the Central Eagles are on the board, but the extra point is low and blocked. So Dillon stays in front with a 7-6 lead. We fast forward to the late stages of the game. Still 7-6 Wildcats. It appears that Dillon clinches the state title on this Desmond Hayes interception. But the officials rule the pass incomplete, and the Eagles keep the drive alive. They march into Dillon territory. Just over a minute to go, and the Nasty Cats defense delivers one more time. Anthony Smith with the deflection. ANTWAN BLUE, the same guy who caught the touchdown, comes up with the interception, and that seals the deal. Tears of joy for Jackie Hayes. Dillon has waited over 60 years for a state title, and now they've got one. The Dillon Wildcats win the 2008 2A state crown with a 7-6 win over Central.
It's history in the making, baby. I love Chris. We came out and proved everybody wrong. That doubted us all through the season. It feels good because I know my fans here to back me up. You know, that's called all the right plays, and we came out and executed.
The 3A state championship game pitted the Myrtle Beach Seahawks back in the title game for the first time since 1984, taking on Chester. And it didn't take long for Myrtle Beach to get on the scoreboard. 1:58 in. Everett Golson looks like he's going down, but he pitches it to Daquan Ford, 21 yards, and it's 7-0 Myrtle Beach. Tied at 7 late in the first. Everett Golson to DEMAZIO Skelton. Beautifully thrown ball. Skelton's got it. It's a 14-7 Seahawks lead. Then Chester draws even. Second quarter, 4th and 6. This is Fred Lee with a 12-yard touchdown. It's a 14-14 ball game. But late in the second quarter, this is what makes Everett Golson one of the best sophomores in the country. Shows tremendous patience, bides his time, and he fires a missile. 33 yards to DEMAZIO Skelton. His second touchdown catch. It's 21-14 Myrtle Beach at the half. In the third quarter, Skelton wasn't done there. Got it done on the other side of the ball as well. This interception puts Myrtle Beach back in business. Later in the third, Golson to his favorite target this season, JAMERE VALENTINE. It's a 44-yard catch. And it would lead to this. Jordan Butler, a 34-yard field goal. Myrtle Beach builds a double-digit lead at 24-14. Then in the fourth quarter, Golson to Stephen Cobb. He played two ways, at tight end as well as linebacker. A 4-yard touchdown makes it 31-14. This Alex Holloman interception would wrap things up for Myrtle Beach. And Scott Early's got himself a state championship bath. Didn't mind the cold water on a cold night here in Clemson. The Myrtle Beach Seahawks are 3A state champions with a 31-21 triumph over Chester.
Well, I don't know what the feeling's like yet because it ain't had time to sink in. I'm just, you know, my hat's off to Chester, and I'm proud of my kids and coaches, and we're going to go back to work on Tuesday and try to get here again. This is a special place right here.
The city of Myrtle Beach is going to be proud of this. Got one in basketball, got one in football, and I think it's going to keep going, keep going.
It's a feeling that you can't explain, but you just want to sprint back and forth up and down the field. It's just that big of a feeling. It's too much for words.
Congratulations to our two state champions from the Zone Nation, the Dillon Wildcats and the Myrtle Beach Seahawks.
Welcome back to the show. It's time now to meet the finalists for WPDE's Zoneman Trophy, awarded to the outstanding player in the PD in the Grand Strand. Every area coach plus 6 media members voted, and we've arrived at the 2008 Zoneman podium. Here's Mark Haggard with a look at this year's finalists.
The 2008 Zoneman finalists are Lakeview running back and linebacker Quandon Christian, West Florence defensive end Malachi Goodman, and 2 players from Myrtle Beach High, quarterback Everett Golson and wide receiver JAMERE VALENTINE. Let's meet these 4 young men.
Hi, my name is Quandon Christian of Lakeview, and I want to win Zoneman.
Hi, I'm Malachi Goodman from the West Florence Knights, and I want to win the Zoneman.
Hi, I'm Everett Golson for the Myrtle Beach Seahawks, and I want to win the Zoneman.
Hi, I'm JAMERE VALENTINE from Myrtle Beach High, and I want to win the Zoneman.
Lakeview senior Quandon Christian stands 6'3" and weighs 205 pounds. Scouts Inc. calls him an athletic freak. Christian attended football camps at both South Carolina and Clemson, but it was Clemson that pulled the trigger first with an athletic scholarship offer.
I did some drills and stuff, and at the end of camp, they offered me a full ride scholarship, and I took it.
Christian says he will play either outside linebacker or safety at Clemson.
On defense, I want to hold down my spot, contain the outside and everything, and make great plays.
Defensively, Christian has excellent range sideline to sideline with great closing speed, thanks to his ability to run the 40 in 4.5 seconds. He's an explosive hitter, impressing scouts with his upper body strength and 36-inch vertical leap. His nickname is Lights Out. Christian totaled nearly 20 sacks the past 2 seasons combined for the Wild Gators.
Quandon's been a 4-year starter for us. He's played every game here in Lakeview for the past 4 years. He's done a tremendous job for us. He's run the ball the past 2 years, but he's been a very steady force on defense for us, averaging around 85 to 90 tackles a year, 2 or 3 interceptions. A tremendous leader for us and got a nose for the football.
Back in 2006, Christian was in the car when his close friend Ronald Sampson, a football and baseball star, died in a wreck on Highway 501 in Marion. This tragedy was a test of Quandon Christian's character.
I can't imagine that. I've never been in that situation. I've never really talked to anyone in that situation, but just to see the look on his face that Monday when he come back to school, but his desire to get back on the football field. You knew there was something special in that kid at that time. You know, when we told him if he didn't feel like practicing that week, we more than understood. But he said, no, I want to get out there to help me get over it a little bit. But I don't believe you ever get over it. It's just a fire that burns inside of him, not only to carry his career on the football for himself, but to do it for Ronald also.
While Christian's future will be on defense, he played both ways at Lakeview. At running back, he averaged nearly 12 yards a carry this season, totaling more than 1,300 yards with 21 touchdowns, leading Lakeview to the playoffs every season he played, including a state championship his sophomore season in 2006.
As a running back, I hit on the defense with power and speed, and I can run over a defense, or I can just run right past them. When I get the ball, I think about touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
He's active in the Lakeview community and a solid student with a 2.9 grade point average. He's a 3-sport star. He also plays on Lakeview's baseball and basketball teams, but football is his specialty. Quandon Christian will play his final high school football game in the Offense-Defense All-American Bowl on January 2nd. Our next Zoneman finalist is Malachi Goodman of the West Florence Knights. Goodman is a 6'4", 255-pounder. He had 15 sacks his senior season. He enjoys the game, but most of all, the contact.
Hitting people, knocking people around.
Is it a sack or just a hard hit? Explain that a little bit.
Just the adrenaline rush and playing football and going to get somebody that think they're gonna beat me, but I'm in the other way saying I'm gonna beat them.
At first, believe it or not, Goodman actually struggled as a football player.
Malachi was probably the clumsiest kid we had when we got him in 9th grade.
He wasn't too good when he started, but he had to build himself up, and he did that. He proved that. Through the grace of God, he proved it.
Now, Goodman is an athletic lineman with long arms and excellent lateral pursuit, and that's a good thing. Most teams run away from 97, and most of the time, they don't get very far. He clocked the fastest 40 time of any lineman at the Under Armour Combine in Charlotte, running a 4.47. Perhaps his best quality, though, is his leadership ability.
I try to, if somebody's not in the game, I try to, what's wrong with you? Get in the game, play harder.
Goodman is aptly named. He is a good man. Boy Scout, member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and carries a 3.3 GPA in the classroom. He's well-rounded, he says, because of his parents, who had to set him on the right path when he was just a little boy.
He was a little devilish, but he did things sneaky. But that's Malachi.
I just stupid stuff, like talking all the time in class. When I was elementary, I don't know.
Then you got quiet.
Yeah.
What was it, the whippings?
Probably was. I think it was.
Malachi Goodman will play in both the Shrine Bowl and the prestigious U.S. Army All-American Bowl. The next Zoneman finalist is Myrtle Beach High quarterback Everett Golson. At 6 feet even, 170 pounds, he's not very imposing. But this young man has great pocket presence, scrambling ability, and a rocket arm.
The spread offense gives you a lot to do. You know, you have a variety of things you can do. Going down the field, you know, you could pass it, run it, everything. Just keep the defense off guard.
In Golson's freshman season, Virginia Tech head coach Frank Beamer came to practice to watch 2007 Zoneman winner Bruce Taylor and check out a then 14-year-old Golson.
He saw Everett throw the ball a little bit, or what they call spin it, and he stayed here for what seemed to be almost an hour and a half. And as he was leaving, he just put his arm around me and said, "I'll be back to get that one because that one's better than Vic when he was in the 9th grade." And at that time, Everett was in the 8th.
That freshman season, Golson led Myrtle Beach to a win over Conway, grabbing the victory bell away from the Tigers.
And most quarterbacks see half of the field or have 2 or 3 reads. He sees everybody all the time. And he's always looking to throw first. But at the same time, is a great athlete that can also run.
In Golson's most impressive game to date, he completed 26 of 30 passes for 411 yards and 7 touchdown throws in this 73-3 win over rival North Myrtle Beach. Golson threw for an eye-popping 3,500-plus yards and 44 touchdown passes.
I think I got a long way to go. I want to get to a point where it's a year that I don't have any interceptions and probably 40 or 50 touchdowns, you know. That'd be a good year for me.
His talent is not just limited to football. Golson was a freshman point guard on the Seahawks 3A state champions last spring. He has a 3.5 GPA and can play several musical instruments, including the piano.
His eye is on the sparrow, and I know that he watches me.
Grew up in a music family, really. A little bit of sports, but not too much. You know, my mother and father played basketball and football. My father played football, but my mother played basketball at CCU. But, you know, most of the times they always kept me grounded in music, really.
Golson throws to plenty of weapons on the football field, but his favorite is JAMERE Valentine. So we asked JAMERE, who should win the Zoneman?
Me and him joke around that he's my little brother. Just something that I really cherished and even be, I don't know, just very heartwarming for somebody that good to consider me as a bigger brother.
Who should win the Zoneman, you or Everett?
Me being the guy I am, I would love to get to my little brother.
Bad news for the rest of Region 7-3A is Everett Golson has 2 more years of high school football remaining. Now it's time to meet Myrtle Beach wide receiver JAMERE Valentine. He's 6'2" and weighs 200 pounds. He is our 4th Zoneman finalist.
Never really saw myself as a star growing up. Always felt like football was a team sport.
Valentine is a great route runner, a slash type of receiver who uses blockers well after the catch. He's among the best in the state running the fade route and uses his 39-inch vertical leap to out-jump defenders.
A lot of it is his physical size. He's able to use the skills that he learned growing up on the basketball court and take them to the football field and be able to almost box people out sometimes. Then he's also able to go up and get the ball at his highest point, almost like getting a rebound. And I think that the mixture of all his life playing both of those sports leads to him being a great receiver. You know, people have criticized him over the years of his speed, but you ain't seen nobody catch him on Friday nights yet.
Valentine led the area with 98 catches for over 1,500 yards and 19 TD grabs. He also teamed with Golson on the Seahawks 3A state basketball championship team last season. Back to football. Valentine is the complete offensive package. He also takes direct snaps at running back, called the Wild Hawk. Valentine has 11 rushing TDs, and he's a dangerous return man on kicks and punts.
Once I touch the ball, I'm gonna try to score. Just trying to make big plays for my team.
So, who should win the Zoneman? I asked Valentine's teammate, Everett Golson.
I really would want to see JAMERE get the Zoneman, you know, being his senior year, and me knowing that I have 2 more years to come back. And it'll probably motivate me more because, you know, it'll keep me hungry for it.
Valentine is an honor roll student. He says he's more proud of his classroom prowess than anything he does on the football field.
I definitely want to go to a great college and hopefully, well, surely get my college degree and something that I may find out I love doing. Just want to grow up and basically be a father that my dad was towards me.
Valentine has been selected to play in the Shrine Bowl.
Over 13 years of coaching a lot of different kids in a lot of places, just as a pure person and player and somebody who combines all attributes, JAMERE Valentine, I would have to say, is probably my favorite.
Once again, the 4 Zoneman finalists for 2008 are Lakeview's Quandon Christian, Malachi Goodman of West Florence, and the Myrtle Beach tandem of Everett Golson and JAMERE Valentine.
When we come back, it's time to meet the 2008 Zoneman winner. The time has come to announce the 9th winner of WPDE's Zoneman Trophy, a trophy that has a great history already with such names as Savell Newton from Marlborough County, the former Gamecocks quarterback, Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Lawrence Timmons, and many, many others. Last year's winner was from Myrtle Beach High, Bruce Taylor. He's now at Virginia Tech. Let's go over the finalists one more time. Quandon Christian from Lakeview High School, Malachi Goodman from West Florence High School, and the Myrtle Beach pair of Everett Golson and JAMERE Valentine. The waiting is over. 40 ballots are in. It was a close race, but there is history in 2008. For the first time ever, a sophomore has won the Zoneman. Everett Golson from Myrtle Beach High School, the 2008 Zoneman winner. Everett shaking hands with the other finalists. This is a great moment, a great year for you. You won a state championship in 2008 in basketball, a state championship in football, and now you have this trophy. And I know you know a little bit of the history. What does it mean for you to be on this list?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to just thank God, you know, because without him, I wouldn't even be here right now. It is an honor and privilege to be on this podium with these caliber of players and everything. So just to win it makes me feel real good.
You're only a sophomore. What do you do for an encore?
I don't know. I guess get 2 other state championships.
Oh, I think that's music to Scott Early's ears. What did it mean to be here? You called JAMERE your big brother. What did it mean for you guys to be on the podium together? That's something you'll probably talk about many, many years from now.
Well, I think it really could have went both ways. I would have been happy if it would have went both ways with me and JAMERE, you know, but, you know, it turns out I won it, so I would, I guess.
Now, where do you put a trophy like this? I mean, where does that go in the Golson house?
Oh, definitely got to go in the living room, you know, so everybody can see it.
All right, Everett Golson, our 2008 Zoneman winner. We'll check back with him in a moment. But first, I want to talk about these guys because they really are doing this podium proud. And we're going to start with Quandon Christian from Lakeview. What does it mean for you to be standing on this stage? I remember Anthony Waters in 2001. You really remind me a lot of him. I think you're going to go on to great things at Clemson.
Well, it's an honor to be here with all these good players. And I want to thank everybody that voted for me and everything.
All right, Quandon Christian from Lakeview High School and Malachi Goodman. My goodness, man who finished 2nd place in the Zoneman, a U.S. Army All-American. Great grades, the total package. I know Dabo Swinney is absolutely excited that you're going to Clemson. And, hey, you got 2 Clemson Tigers here. I imagine you'll be talking about this up on campus down the road.
Yes, sir. It was a great honor to be up here with great players. One of the great ones won. Congratulations. Thank you for everyone who voted for me.
All right, that is Malachi Goodman from West Florence, and we don't want to forget about JAMERE VALENTINE, number 28. Now, he wouldn't have won that Zoneman if you didn't catch all those balls, so I'm sure you're going to remind him of that.
Nah, he put in his work over the summer and throughout the years. As you can see, it's not really an easy task winning that. I mean, you really got to put in your work for it, and he definitely put his work in throughout his whole life. So I'm very proud of him.
Golson had a phenomenal year on the football field, throwing for over 3,500 yards and 44 touchdown passes on the way to a state title. Here's the final balloting from 34 area coaches and 6 members of the media. Everett Golson finished first by just 6 total points over Malachi Goodman of West Florence. Myrtle Beach wide receiver JAMERE VALENTINE finished third in the voting, followed closely by Lakeview's Quandon Christian.
All right, Big Country, Scott Early, head coach of the Myrtle Beach Seahawks. How you feeling? You've got back-to-back Zoneman winners.
Yeah, it's special and quite a surprise for a sophomore and somebody that young to win it. But he, is that talented, and the way that y'all do the voting. It's amazing to me that the other 40 coaches in the area has that much respect for our, not only our quarterback but our program. So that means a lot to me.
Scott Early, the head coach of Bruce Taylor, who's now at Virginia Tech, and now Everett Golson, this year's Zoneman winner. Rich, back to you.
Once again, let's give one more round of applause to all the great participants here in the 2008 All-Zone team. It was a great high school football season. It's time for us to say goodbye. We look forward to the Hoop Zone Banquet next March. But for Mark Haggard, I'm Rich Crampanis. Thanks so much for watching. This is Everett Golson. He's the 2008 Zoneman winner. Give it a kiss, Everett. Good night, everybody.